All right, let's just jump right in. What if I told you there's a single idea, kind of like a hidden blueprint, that connects everything in the universe? It's been called the perennial philosophy for centuries, and today we're going to decode it together. So let's really kick things off with this massive question. Just think about it for a second. What if, behind all the noise, all the chaos and complexity of our world, there's a single, elegant key? A secret pattern that ties it all together? And this isn't some new age concept, not at all. We're talking thousands of years here. From the mystics in ancient Egypt all the way to modern quantum physicists, the smartest minds have pointed to this same idea, that reality runs on a set of universal principles. Some call it the perennial philosophy, others the Hermetic wisdom. Whatever the name, today we're breaking down its three core principles. All right, let's start with the big one, the foundation. And trust me, this is probably the most mind-bending principle of them all, the idea that the universe, the whole thing, is fundamentally mental. So there's this ancient Hermetic text, the Kybalion, and it just lays it out there, bold as anything. It says that underneath all of physical reality, there's just one single universal consciousness. Think about that. Everything you see, everything you touch, all of your experiences, it's all basically just a thought happening in the mind of what it calls the all. And this idea goes way back. Check out this quote from another ancient text, the Corpus Hermeticum. It's basically saying that your ability to see and hear right now isn't just your ability. It's a direct line to a divine creative mind. So your consciousness isn't just some little thing inside the universe. In a very real way, it is the universe looking out through your eyes. And here's where it gets really wild. Modern neuroscience is actually starting to catch up to this ancient wisdom. You've probably heard of inattentional blindness, right? It's that famous experiment where people are so focused on counting basketball passes, they completely miss a guy in a gorilla suit walking through the middle of the screen. It's perfect proof that your brain isn't just a passive camera recording what's out there. No, it's an active reality generator. It literally builds the world you see based on what it expects to see. Okay, so if the whole universe is mind, that's a huge concept. But the next logical question is, well, how do we fit into that? How are we connected to it? That brings us right to our second principle, which is all about the great law of correspondence. You've probably heard the famous saying, as above, so below. Well, this is what it's all about. It means that the very same patterns that shape the stars and the galaxies are also shaping your own body and your own mind. It's like the universe isn't just out there somewhere. It's also a perfect mirror of everything that's in here. And you can see this idea laid out so clearly in a lot of esoteric traditions. They literally map the cosmos onto the human body. Take a look at this. Each planet in our solar system is said to connect to a specific energy center in our body, a chakra. So you have Saturn, the planet of time and structure, linked to our crown chakra, our connection to the infinite. And then the sun, the center of our solar system, corresponds to our heart chakra, the very center of our own life force and identity. It's a perfect reflection. Now, this idea of as above, so below also tells a pretty epic story about our journey into this life. Gnostic traditions talk about the soul starting out as pure, unlimited consciousness. Then it descends into the physical world, passing through the spheres of the planets, almost like levels in a game, picking up different qualities along the way. The big moment comes when it passes Saturn, which the Greeks called Kronos, the god of time. That's when the soul enters linear time and gets bound to the material world. And that phrase, born in sin, this tradition suggests it wasn't about being morally bad. It was about being born into the sine wave, the up and down cycle of time and matter. Okay, so let's recap. We have a universe that is fundamentally mind, and it mirrors itself on every single scale, from the cosmos down to us. But what's the actual stuff of this mental universe? What's it all made of? Well, that leads us perfectly into our third and final core principle. We're going back to the Kybalion for this one, and it's super simple but profound. Nothing rests, everything moves, everything vibrates. So the difference between, say, a rock, your thoughts, and pure spirit isn't what they're made of. It's how fast they're vibrating. It's all the same stuff, just at different frequencies. Think of it like water. You have solid ice, liquid water, and gaseous steam. Same substance, different energy levels. And wouldn't you know it, modern science once again provides an amazing parallel. Biologist Bruce Lipton talks about this all the time.
Quantum physics has shown us that atoms aren't little solid particles like we learned in high school. Nope, they're more like tiny vibrating nanotornadoes of pure energy. That desk you're sitting at, the phone in your hand, it's not truly solid. It's just a field of energy vibrating at a frequency that your brain interprets as solid. It's all an illusion of solidity.
So, if it's true that everything is just frequency, well then it makes sense that different frequencies would have different effects on us, right? This is the whole idea behind things like sound healing. They say certain tones just resonate better with our bodies. For example, our standard musical tuning is 440 hertz, and some people feel it's a bit jarring, creates a subtle stress. But other frequencies, like 432 hertz or the famous 528 miracle tone, are said to feel much more natural and promote a sense of calm and well-being. All right, we've covered these 3 amazing, world-changing principles. All is mind, as above, so below, everything is vibration. But here's the most important part. This isn't just some abstract philosophy to debate over coffee. The entire point of knowing all this is for personal transformation. At its core, the spiritual path described in these traditions is all about shifting your sense of identity. It's about moving away from identifying with the ego. You know, that little voice in your head, the false self that feels separate and is always worrying. The goal is to shift to realizing your higher self. That's your true nature, the eternal consciousness that's always there underneath the noise. It's what the teacher Eckhart Tolle calls the ever-present I am. And that right there, that's the end game, the ultimate goal. It's not enough to just understand these principles in your head. The real work, the real transformation, comes when you start to embody them, when you can actually feel and experience the entire universe operating right here, inside of you. Now, I know what you might be thinking. This all sounds really ancient and kind of weird, right? But I'm telling you, just look around. These ideas aren't hidden away in dusty old books. They are everywhere, and they are fueling a massive, massive shift in how we all approach spirituality today. I mean, just look at this list. The law of attraction and manifesting, that's a modern version of all is mind. Crystal healing, Reiki, sound baths, that's all about the principle of vibration. And astrology or tarot readings, that is as above, so below in action. All these popular practices that you see everywhere, they're all just different branches growing from the exact same ancient hermetic tree. And this really helps explain a huge cultural trend we're seeing right now, the rise of the spiritual but not religious. It's this massive shift away from organized external rules and toward a much more personal path. It's people going on their own individual search for that hidden blueprint of reality. So we're going to end right back where we started with a question. But this one's for you. If all of this is even a little bit true, if reality really is a mirror of your mind, then take a good, honest look. What is your reflection showing you right now? It's a powerful thought to take with you. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer.